It's a trap.
Crazy Crab in the house, and we're going to do another trap video today. This one is from the Blackmar Diemer Gambit as white, and it is a pretty cool trap. All the traps that I'm going to try to show here on this channel are traps that are not all over YouTube. They're rare traps, but they actually work because your opponent is going to play just normal, natural moves that we see all the time. And that's why I really love these traps. I'm going to try to release a trap video every Friday until I run out of traps. I have a whole bunch of them, been playing a long time, so this is going to be really cool for chess players who come across these videos. Not too many people are coming across them yet because I'm brand new, but I'm hoping that more people find them and enjoy these. So every Friday is going to be a new trap video. I released one last week and it was called the C3 Sicilian trap. Please check that one out. It's really an interesting trap. In that variation, you end up an entire piece up. In this one, we're actually going to try to checkmate our opponent. Here's how it goes. Blackmar Diemer Gambit usually starts with D4. Your opponent's going to respond D5. We're going to jump out with E4, offering this pawn for free. And that's the whole deal about this gambit. We're going to give away a pawn. By the way, this could also start with E4. If you're an E4 player like myself, I rarely play D4. I usually play E4. And if your opponent wants to play the Scandinavian and he plays D5, guess what? We have the option to playing D4 and we get the exact same position. So either whether you're a D4 player or an E4 player, you can experiment with this gambit. And after black takes, he's going to have his pawn on E4. We're going to bring out our knight to C3, attacking this pawn. Your opponent is going to want to defend it. He's going to play F6. This is just a normal natural move. These are all regular stuff. You're going to see them all the time. 9 times out of 10 when you try this gambit, this is the line you're going to get. You're going to play F3. Your opponent is going to grab that pawn. And then you're going to bring out your knight to F3. And this is the beginning of the Blackmar Diemer Gambit. This is the position we're looking for. By the way, you do have the option of recapturing with the queen, but you give up yet another pawn if they see that. Oftentimes they don't even see this. But if they do see it, they're up yet another pawn. So this is an option, but it is a little more risky. There are some traps there, and I'm going to be showing those traps in future videos where the queen takes. But today we're not looking at that. We're looking at the knight taking back. This is probably the better move. And from here, what we're looking for now is a player who wants to pin down this knight. Now, whether he does it right away or not, we still have a possibility of this trap working, but hopefully he wastes a move. We see it all the time. He plays a little pawn move, whether it's H6, A6, C6, any pawn move except E6. E6 will kind of spoil our plans. It's fine. You still have a great game, but this trap won't work if he plays E6. So let's say he plays C6. That's wonderful. We're going to bring out our bishop now to C4, putting pressure on this F7 square. This is what it's all about, this square that's only defended by the king. And now he comes and pins you down. Maybe if he pins you down first, for example, before playing this pawn move, maybe he pins you down first. Then you can bring this bishop out to C4 as normal, and maybe then he plays like a pawn move to try to prevent your knight from coming up here, whether it's C6, A6, maybe even H6. It doesn't matter. We're looking for a wasted pawn move. Any pawn move except E6. And now from this position, we're going to have a surprise move. Knight to E5. It's actually the correct move, but it could surprise your opponent because you're giving away the queen. Now, many times, believe it or not, your opponent will come snag this queen. And guess what that means? The ball game is over, folks. That's it. Checkmate. Bishop F7 checkmate. That's it. Now, I can't just say that that's the trap because more often than not, your opponent is going to say, "Wait a minute, is this really free? Maybe I should see what is going on here." On F7, he's going to see what you're trying to do. He's going to say, "Uh-oh, that's checkmate because the king can't come out here because the knight has that square covered. I better back up to H5, and now I'm covering that square and everything is just hunky-dory." That's what black will be thinking. Guess what? Now we have the most awesome move ever. Queen takes bishop. Queen takes H5. And now another attacker on that square. Uh-oh, but the knight can take. Oh well, checkmate. Game over. So an amazing trap that even if your opponent is careful and sees your trap, he probably is going to back up. I've seen it so many times. Your opponent's back up to H5 and you just go ahead and take it. and the game is going to end one way or another. There's no way out. No matter what he tries, he's going to be in big trouble. So it's just an amazing game. Keep in mind, once this move is made, once this knight move up to e5, your opponent's already in big trouble. There's nothing he can do. If he's smart and he sees that there's no way to avoid this, except for playing e6, maybe he'll play e6. If that happens, you go ahead and grab this bishop for free, because if he wants to take back, you have your queen here, and you're up an entire piece. So worst case scenario, you're going to be up an entire piece. Just a fantastic trap, and we're going to run through the moves one more time from the beginning. And again, it doesn't matter if you play e4, your opponent wants to play the Scandinavian, then we have it. But more often than not, it comes from d4. Your opponent plays d5, and you respond e4. Blackmar Diemer Gambit, opponent takes. Bring out your knight attacking that pawn. He brings out his knight defending the pawn. f3. Your opponent takes. Bring out the knight. He may pin down right away, or he may make, let's say he plays h6. He wants to prevent the knight from jumping into g5. We're going to bring out our bishop to c4. Now he feels happy to pin down the knight. You're going to go ahead and disregard, jump up here. If he takes the queen, you checkmate on f7 with the bishop. More than likely he backs up because he wants to put more defenders on this square. You go ahead and grab that piece. Knight takes back. Bishop f7 checkmate. So a very amazing trap, and the cool thing about it is any wasted pawn move, this will work. I'm running through the moves very quickly. We're just going to look at a6 as an example. Same thing applies. Now, of course, he could play b5, and then you may have to move your bishop, and you can move it back and still try it. Just don't get too attached to this trap. If the opponent is not letting it happen, just play normal moves and try to get a good game. You're still sound here. There's nothing wrong. You're not losing. But more often than not, many opponents will come out here and pin down your knight, and we know what to do. Bam. Takes your queen. Checkmate. See you later. He decides, uh-oh, I better back up. You take the bishop with your queen. He takes, and that's checkmate. So a wonderful trap in the Blackmar Diemer Gambit. Thanks for joining me. Next Friday we'll have a new trap, and I'll see you then.